Hi Gemini, how are we this week? Just doing our weekly readings. This week we are doing, it's kind of like a bit of a general kind of a reading, but I also will be looking into career and finances, as well as a general sort of health um, spread there as well. So I do have a few decks for you this week. We'll be starting here with the messages from the fairies oracle. Okay, I also have that new beautiful deck, the Jester Lenormand, as well as the Soul's Journey lesson cards. All right, so like I said, I'll be starting with the oracle today for you, Gemini. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Just a super small channel, so adding your energy in really does help us grow and, get better messages for everyone within the collective as well. Okay, Gemini. And I super appreciate it. Okay, I do appreciate everyone's support. Thank you. Okay, Gemini. Gemini, what does Gemini need to be aware of at the moment? Okay, so quite interesting here, Gemini. I feel like I've gotten two sort of separate energies here. Firstly, I do have the spring coming through. So that does to say your desires fully manifest as the flowers begin to bloom. So this particular one, I do feel as though this is closer to the timing that we're looking at. Spring, it is spring here in Australia now. So I do sort of perceive this as, like we're in the middle of spring. So I'm just trying to remember what last month was. September, October, November. That is spring here in Australia. So this is kind of the current energy for you, that your desires starting to sort of open up to you, starting to manifest things that you are sort of wanting, those sorts of things coming through just in general. But I am sort of seeing here too, we do also have the winter card coming through, but I don't actually feel as though this is referring to timing. It does say the answers to your prayers and affirmations are fully realized in the winter months, but I do feel as though this is kind of more talking about the coldness. There's some sort of something that's creating a coldness in your life at this time. So the spring, we are sort of seeing your desires starting to open up to your desires. I feel is that current kind of energy. But when it comes to the way that your prayers and your affirmations are being answered to you, it's coming through with a lot of coldness. So rather than a timing, that winter card does just feel like, that coldness. There may be somebody in your energy, or you yourself, Gemini, maybe feeling as though you're acting quite coldly, quite reserved emotionally, that, it's kind of that heart of ice type energy that coming through there. It's forgetting to see the magical elements in life, because, we do see the unicorn there with the fairies. So it's kind of like you for some reason you're shielding yourself. You're putting this wall of ice up between you and the magical elements, around your energy at this time. But I do feel for a lot of you, this is a specific thing in your life, a specific thing or situation that when you think about it, it sort of turns your heart to ice. It makes you feel cold and distant from that situation. There's a lot of I just keep getting coldness from either a person or a situation that's going on for you at the moment. And then we do have the walk away card as well. So that's a pretty clear message that, if you're not feeling that warmth from a situation or a person, you are getting just that cold shoulder, that coldness from this situation or person. Maybe walking away is in your best interest, Gemini. Leave the unhealthy situation and enjoy the new doors that open as a result. So I feel like you're going to intuitively sort of know what this thing is for each and every one of you. It's probably slightly different for everyone there. I do feel for some of you as though that is a person, and for others of you that's more along the lines of a situation. But it's kind of current. It's a very current thing. It may have been already sort of ongoing for like the last month, and it does feel as though it may be sort of, when we see that spring element, it's kind of like you're kind of opening up to the fact that you only feel coldness towards this thing, or you're feeling a lot of coldness from this person, and you're only just sort of starting to open up to that idea, and to that realization that this is not the warmth and happiness that you are wanting or deserving, or desiring. We do see the desires manifesting with that spring element. So I really feel as though you're starting to sort of open up and understand that this is not, I do need to walk away from this. And it's sort of letting you know that, it's unhealthy for your highest good at this time. And walking away from unhealthy things, it does help open up new doors, new opportunities for you. So I'm just going to see with the Lenormand if we can get a little bit more information about that for you, Gemini. Extra information for Gemini, please. What is this winter walk away energy for Gemini? Okay, so rather than showing me what it is, can I just get one more? What specifically is this situation or person to Gemini, please? Okay, so I do feel as though it's a bit different for everybody. I do have the rider there, so it definitely could be a person. Um, I'm kind of getting just intuitively there, I'm getting the vibe that this has got something to do with someone or something that, they because the writer does normally come in bringing good news, but I feel like what's happening here is the reason you've got a coldness towards this situation or person is they keep bringing news to you, but it's not the news you want to hear. It's kind of like, it's feeling like every time they tell you, oh, this is happening, this happened, it's all about them, or it's all about it's not necessarily affecting you, and you've just grown a coldness to the situation because it's not actually your direct, it's not, it's just giving you that vibe of somebody that's only talking about themselves, that, they keep coming to you and telling you all these news, but it's kind of like nothing to do with you, and it's all there. It's kind of that vibe of them, of a person sort of telling you, every time they talk to you, it's just to tell you all their good news, but they never actually stop and ask, what's going on with you, Gemini? So that's the kind of vibe I'm getting from what this is. But with that rider there, it could definitely be a person. With the rider, it could be someone shorter than you. I know that that's a random thing, but we do sort of see the idea of a jockey and a horse in the rider element. So it may be somebody who is somehow connected to, horses or horse riding. It may be somebody who comes across as quite, the writer is quite gentlemanly, like chivalrous type energy, but I am just getting that they're it's a falseness coming through with that. They're acting like, oh, I want to share this good news with you, but in a way it kind of feels like they're trying to just rub it in your face kind of energy. Yeah, it's a bit random. Okay. It's just feeling like somebody who's not um, supporting Gemini. They're supporting themselves, but not actually Gemini. But when I did ask for a bit more information about that, I am just sort of being shown, the near future outcomes here with that. We did sort of talk about the enjoying the new doors that open as a result of walking away from something. So I feel like for a lot of you, the decision has already been made. You've already sort of decided that you're removing this from your life. You're walking away from that energy. So a lot of you have probably already started that process of walking away from that situation or person, because this first card here is the key. So that's focusing on those new doors that are opening for you. So it kind of doesn't even matter anymore about who this person is, what that cold energy is all about. It's the fact that you're walking away from it, and you are opening these new opportunities for yourself. The key holds a lot of successful opportunities on the other side of those doors, okay? Especially when it comes to your interpersonal relationships. We have the ring coming through there. All these cards I've drawn for you with the Lenormand are yes cards as well. So if your intuition is sort of telling you a specific situation or person, yes, it's probably that, okay? Like I said, it's going to be different for everybody, but, whatever's resonating for you right now, yes, that's what we're talking about here. So if it is an interpersonal relationship, we do see, the strengthening relationships on the other side of those opportunities. So opportunities to strengthen other relationships around you. This cold energy may be actually affecting you in a way that you don't really realize, where it's kind of putting you in a cycle with other people where you're expecting others to treat you the way that this cold situation is treating you. So walking away from that cold situation is actually going to, help improve other relationships around you as well as the relationship with yourself. All right. So I really am just feeling that that's just relationships in general, rather than a specific relationship. So I do feel like relationships with yourself probably as well. And then we do see that's the ship card, okay? So I'm also seeing a structure of timing too. So these new opportunities are coming in quick, but then it takes some time before you see this improvement with other relationships, and then even further down the track, we are seeing some brand new adventure, some possible travel for you coming through in the near future. And it's all stemming from you walking away from this situation that leaves you feeling sort of cold, or left out in the cold, or something that you kind of need to walk away from, because it's not in the highest good for you. And I feel like you already know that, Gemini. So very interesting. But I'll have a quick look here at career and finances. I do just want to check your career and finances with the soul's journey. Okay, they're feeling very important this week for career and finances. Okay, Gemini. What's going on for Gemini with career and finances, please? Okay, so discipline, Gemini. Okay, that does say I can accomplish what I set my mind to. So keeping your discipline strong within your career space, your self-discipline as well, not spending that money just because you can. You can accomplish whatever you set your mind to. So if you are setting your mind to, meeting a specific career goal or a specific financial goal, you've got it. You've got this. You just need to, be very self-disciplined with the way that you're approaching this particular thing, or this money. So it's like not spending I can't even say that word, but not spending like crazy, and on silly little things, making sure you're very disciplined with the way that you're spending your money, and making sure that you are allowing yourself, the nicer things, that, all those treats, or whatever as well, but in a planned out, disciplined kind of way. So rather than saying, oh, I deserve a treat, I'm going to go and spend all this money on whatever I want, say to yourself, no, well, I do deserve a treat, but I'm allowing myself this small amount of money for a treat now, and then once I meet this goal, then I can, think bigger and go do that other thing that I want, so it's kind of just planning a little bit more, being very disciplined with the way we're looking at our career and finances at the moment. Because we are also seeing grief, okay? That does say, I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. So for some of you, this thing that you are walking away from, there is some grief attached to that. So I'm feeling like this is only a couple of you. This walking away energy is actually related to your career or your finances somehow. So for some of you, this may be somebody that you work with, that you're choosing to walk away from this person. For others of you, this may even be your job, that you're choosing to walk away from that. But it gives you an opportunity to appreciate that and appreciate yourself as well. I do feel as though it's the fact that you are doing what's for your highest good, and what's healthy for you and your life, and what you need to sort of do for your levels of discipline within that arena. Okay, because it's kind of feeling that if that is a work related walking away energy, that it's that kind of energy where there's a certain co-worker who is actually impeding on your work, and it's kind of like they're holding you back from actually being able to stay disciplined, to get the work done, that sort of a thing. And so you're choosing to walk away from that energy, even if it causes you a little bit of grief, dealing with the others, and just grief in general in the workplace, having to deal with that factor that you've chosen to walk away from that person, and not give them the opportunity to distract you from your work, or whatever that may be. But I do feel for maybe just one of you that's the kind of situation that's actually in regard to there. Because we also have peace. Okay, I am a being of love, and I release all negative energy. So definitely heading towards peace, within your career and your finances. It's just a matter of, staying disciplined, and just being aware that, grief is all just part of the process when we are, doing things for our highest good. So as long as you're staying disciplined, we can deal with that grief and get through to the peace. All right. But I'll grab some lenormand as well. Career and finances for Gemini, please. Okay, so firstly we have the garden. All right, that's a kind of hard one to tell that it's the garden, because it is like a little Zen garden, okay, with the rocks there. So that's connecting quite well with that peaceful card. So some Zen garden action for you there, making sure you find your peace before you're attending, any important work meetings, those sorts of things. The garden does talk about social aspects and meetings, and propositions, invitations, events happening within the workplace, all those sorts of things. So I do feel that there is a social inflection on that find your peace, find your center before you're dealing with these social interactions within your career. Any meeting, especially meetings, if you're having to attend like a business meeting, those sorts of things, find your peace and find your center before you actually go through and allow certain things within that social sphere to affect you personally. All right, there may just be that element coming through. We also do have the birds there, so that talks directly about conversations that are happening around you. So I do feel that for some of you, this is talking about, workplace chatter, the office gossip, and that's probably what that grief is, having to walk away from a particular person. So it's coming back through again. So maybe it's more than just one of you having to deal with this person at work, that you are having to walk away from this person's energy a little bit at the workplace, or within your career, or whatever. Because you're kind of having these meetings, and then I'm seeing these conversations going on around you. It feels like the conversations are around you rather than involving you directly. So it definitely could be lending itself to the idea of the office gossip type energy. So just be wary of that. As long as you're finding your inner peace, and not giving them any reason to as long as it's not affecting your work, that's what I feel like the main thing is here, is that, you walking away, it's for your highest good, and it's healthy for you to not get drawn into that stuff, to keep yourself quite disciplined and not get drawn into those sorts of elements within your career, okay, because as soon as you are, I'm just intuitively feeling here that if you do allow yourself to, avoid that sense of peace within yourself and get drawn into these sorts of, gossipy type chatter, that you are actually, that's where you are going to, feel that grief hitting you in the pocket as well. Okay. So, keep that in mind, that, if you can find your inner peace and just, ignore all that chatter, ignore that office gossip, and just get on with that meeting and focus on the meeting, focus on the business, focus on the work, keep your discipline to you. It's going to have this financial effect as well. It won't actually, affect your finances in a negative way if you do choose to walk away, because I do feel that, if you continue to not, and you don't walk away from this particular energy, it actually will start to affect your finances somehow. Okay. But we'll grab a couple of cards, just a bit of a health check-in. I feel like I need to go back to the oracle for that one. Okay, what's going on for Gemini? Anything Gemini needs to know in regard to health? Health and well-being for Gemini. Yeah. At the end of the day, be yourself, Gemini. This situation calls for you to be your authentic self, which is the basis for your personal power. So when it comes to health related things, it kind of tells you that, hiding from yourself, hiding your true self, hiding, it's kind of that, don't, like, I'm just getting here, it's a bit random, but don't eat things just because it's like peer pressure. So once again, with that example of this office gossip, kind of like, oh, it's so-and-so's birthday, everyone has to eat a piece of cake, but you're like, no, I'm on a diet. Don't feel like you have to eat that cake just because, be your authentic self. Stay true to yourself. Stay true to your discipline. Okay, discipline is so strong for you at the moment, Gemini. There is, it's coming through, in multiple aspects here. Anything Gemini needs to be aware of with health, please? Health and well-being. Pardon? Okay, so we do have, the stars and the lily there, okay? So the stars does talk about wish fulfillment, staying hopeful and optimistic. And then the lily really does talk about, it's a longevity card, a long-term card. It talks about, it's a very, when I'm talking about health, it may be a little bit jarring, alarming, but it's not at all, because it talks about like where you're going to be at the end of your life. So like, because it can talk about, sometimes it refers to things like, retirement age and like, old age homes and funerals and those sorts of things. But what it's kind of showing us here with the stars is that, your long-term wishes, where you want to be at the end of your life, health-wise, if you stay hopeful and optimistic, that wish will be fulfilled. So don't, just be very careful of manifesting any negativity within yourself health-wise. So, if you tell yourself, do you know what, I'm going to be a fit and healthy 90-year-old and I'm going to, get hit by a bus, that wish will be fulfilled. So if you it's kind of that vibe of, your health can be whatever you manifest it to be, and whatever you wish for your health to be in the long term. We're looking at the long term here, so it's not really telling me about any short-term health issues. So if you do have some sort of health issues, if you're sort of thinking about, you know what, 5 years from now, this is not going to be an issue for me anymore. You're able to manifest that, okay? You're able to have that wish fulfilled. It's strongly saying, though, hopeful, optimistic. Once again, the discipline, stick to that diet, stick to that health plan, whatever it is, when it comes to your health. Stick to that and stay disciplined within yourself, and stay hopeful and optimistic that things are going to work out the way you want them to long term. So I do feel as though for maybe one or two of you, this is like a long-term health plan that we're looking at, that you may be, not the best right now, but you know that if you do this, this, and this, then it will improve your health over time. So definitely follow that plan, stay disciplined on that path, all right, and everything will work out with that stars card. That really does talk about all your wishes, being fulfilled, all your dreams coming true when it comes to your health, and really, really that you're able to manifest this health, this good health in the long term. All right, so think long term with health issues, okay, rather than, I need to be better tomorrow, thinking long term with your health goals. All right, so that's what we have for you this week, Gemini. Please like and subscribe to the channel, but hopefully I'll see you all again soon.